A communication strategist and a political communication scholar recently wrote a research based book on cyber politics in Nigeria. The 460 pages spread over 12 chapters, where the author gives expression to a critical phase within the distinct trajectory of Nigerian democracy through its elections. Clearview News correspondent probes the author further on the basics of his findings. A slight look at the history of the world indicates that from time to time, different media strategies were used during election campaigns. Previously, radio and televisions were popular to gain support, and now with the social media platforms, the way election campaigns are run has changed. Not only do social media platforms have a huge user base, but they're also very effective in creating a bond with the country's people. It can be safely said that social media platforms play a critical role in the current time in shaping the government. In his book, Dr. Omoni Ebeatan, a communications expert, said social media influences less than 10% of election choices as it only serves as a reinforcement of choices made either by shared values, culture, or religion.
Using 2015 election, presidential election in Nigeria as a sounding board was to find out whether really there's a sense in which social media has shaped people's voting behavior. That just as Lazarus Field found 70 years ago with his colleagues, the media is largely a reinforcer. When I say media, including social media, because I need us to migrate from assumptions to certitudes that have scientific basis. So we found that less than 10% of the predictors that we measure indicating that social media, you know, galvanize people to vote. Media, more than actually making people to vote particular candidates, merely helped to reinforce what people already believe.
Also speaking, Dr. Ibiaton insists on using research-based evidence in gathering data so that facts about social media will not be exaggerated.
Social media as a collective do not really define us. Rather, we define social media. Because you cannot do just anything on social media just because the technology is there for you to use. You have to process what you want to do. You don't go to social media in a manner that offends the culture of the people that you intend to influence. So I don't want us to think that to over exaggerate the impact of technology. I'm saying that technology has so much value. Social technology will play even bigger role. Increasingly, we will see it as we proceed. But in terms of specifically how they alter concrete behavior in terms of voting decisions, we need to rely on scientific studies. Social media will play a greater role if we're able to deal, one, with the question of information and media literacy. People need to understand how to interpret content of media. We need to have lots of education that allow the electorate to have faith in the institutional processes of election conduct itself. People must be held accountable for what they share through social technology.
He also gave some insight on how to effectively use the social media, especially by the youth during elections.
Before you use the pen, before you do use the keyboard, before you open the mouth to say anything, think, process it. For the young people, increasingly, what they post on social media platform will make them to earn scholarship in future. It will also make them to lose scholarships. It will make them to get fantastic employment opportunities. It will also deny them. So it's important that parents particularly let their children know this.
Omoni Ibetan, with a befitting profile as an author, journalist, political communications scholar, media and communications manager with the Nigerian Communications Commission,